stuck in my own head with all these thoughts, all about all of my exes. Am I going crazy? Am I just doomed and destined for bad relationships, endless breakups? Well, I've kind of got these questions that I've asked myself. And maybe some of it will resonate with you, maybe some of it won't. But this is just my process. Hopefully some of it might help you, or you might find some similarities. Okay, so what I do know, this is what I know, and this is what I've kind of worked out so far. So I got kind of 5 points to start with, and then I delve a bit deeper. All right, so the first one is I need validation to some degree. Also, I like a strong woman. Number 2. Number 3, I don't like working for employers with these rigid rules and authoritarian sort of attitudes. Number 4, I crave adventure or stimulation. And finally, number 5, I get a bad attitude if I'm working over sort of 25 hours. All right, so that's kind of my biggest problems, my biggest issues for what I might deem as get hurdles in the way of happiness, or in the way of me understanding myself further and better. So I have had more deep thought of this, and then I've come up with these kind of answers. And it's kind of like 3 answers I've got that covers these 5 issues. All right, so like I said, I have gone further into it. I'm holding some notes. Hopefully you can't hear any tapping in the background, but I'm holding some notes here. All right, I need validation. Let's look at this first one. Now, after some deep exploration, there's kind of a few answers to this. Now, 1 is I'm a middle child. That answers a lot of questions. 2, single parent growing up most of my childhood. And then the 3rd one is unstable childhood. We moved around a few different towns and I had a few different schools. So that could possibly be why I need some kind of validation. And then what I've learned through reading all these books and videos and talking to friends and family, what I've really learned and understand is that I need to get validation myself from my own inside. And that's easier said than done. And it's taken me a long time to go through this roller coaster process of being on my own, enjoying my own company, finding out what I like and what I like doing, and being happy with what I've done and feeling good. Like going out for a long walk really, for some reason, makes me feel good inside. It gets out those toxins or whatever, or pent up energy, whatever. It staves off depression. Not that I struggle with depression, but it's definitely helping. It's definitely good and making me feel better. So that's one aspect, is getting out for a good walk, and helping me learn from my own validation and finding things I like to do. Like I said, I've also done 3 different mountains, in 5 days. Again, that gave me a sense of achievement. I felt like I'm growing and enjoying it. That's what I wanted to do. And I didn't realize that until all of a sudden I thought, oh, yeah, let's go climb up a mountain. Yeah, that'd be fun. It was a lot of hard work. Maybe a bit stupid and naive of me, but there we go. There we go. I moved on. All right. So that's what I've learned, is to build and make my own validation. And it's a journey. It's taken a long time. So if you're starting this journey, then good luck to you. Right then. So that was the first one. Right. Strong women. I seem to like strong women. Now, I don't know whether that's because of my mother was a strong woman, rest her soul. She's now passed on very, very early as well, very young. She was only 65, and this was because of COVID, but and maybe other complications. But that's for me to deal with. And again, lots of really good books and a lot of self-reflection and learning and acceptance has really helped out with that. But liking a strong woman, I don't know whether that was down to my mother or down to liking the idea of somebody being independent and doing something for themselves and taking control of their life. But what I've found on my reflection is that a strong woman isn't compatible with my desire to be a leader and my desire and my attitudes to life of taking control of my life and being in control of my life and moving forward. I've realized that somebody that will be compatible with me would be somebody that's more laid back, more relaxed, more calm, more easygoing and going with the flow. And so that I could live that kind of leadership lifestyle that I'm craving. Because every time I've been with a strong woman, we've clashed heads and banged heads over lots and lots of silly decisions and our progression. All right, so yeah, that's one of the big issues there. Okay, then moving on to the next one really would be, all right, regimented authority and rigid structure doesn't align with my desired lifestyle. So as I said before, I don't like working for an employer. I find that it's very suffocating. That's kind of the only way I can describe it. Suffocating, and it tires me out, and it just, yeah, that's the only way I can describe it. I find it really, really difficult to enjoy my life if I'm spending all my hours thinking about work, concentrating on work, getting to work, and pleasing my boss. So I realized that kind of work and lifestyle doesn't fit for me. Now, the way around that, or what I've learned or found to work with me, would be to build my own creative outlet, my own model that can eventually be leveraged to monetize, whether it's through some way through a video or one of the other channels where I teach, some way of sustaining a low impact lifestyle. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to live in a posh hotels and in expensive countries. I'm quite a minimalist, quite a humble kind of guy. So it wouldn't take a lot, I assume. Again, that might be my naivety, but I need to build something, whether it's a brand, whether it's channels, whether it's more teaching, but I need to build something that allows me to be creative and like I said, monetize it and be able to manage my time so I can have more time in nature, more time out, being free, doing stuff, and allow me to be more creative, to build more. Kind of sounds like a snowball effect. But I want to be able to spend time on myself, and enjoy life, because I don't want to, maybe it's because of my mum dying early, I don't know, but I don't want to get to 65 or 66, 67, whatever the UK retirement age is, and be exhausted, from having to find enough money to be able to afford a house or an apartment, and then all the bills on top of that. I would have to work a minimum of 40 hours in some industry. And yes, I know everybody else does that. And maybe everybody else is content and happy doing that, but I'm not. I'm not going to work 40, 50 hours until I'm 67 years old and still worry about whether I've got enough pension to cover the council tax and everything else I want to live. That's just like a prison sentence in my head. Having to work till 67 and still worry about if I've got enough pension. That's a life sentence to me. I think I'd have more freedom if I went to prison. Anyway, so build something that allows me to be free from time restraints and location, geography restraints is what I'm looking to doing. All right, it facilitates my balance of life and enjoyment. And it's not just one of these people that wants to be a digital nomad and make tons of money and go all over the world. All right, maybe part of that freedom is appealing, yes. But I'm also a realist. And the compromise is that I know for the interim, I have to do a part-time job because I need money to pay for my phone bill. I need money to pay for the insurance on my van. But the sacrifice I make is living in a camper van, a very, very small camper van. Now I feel that's justified. Working part-time and living in a tiny camper van to facilitate me building up some kind of online presence, I think is fair. And if it takes me a year, well, it's taken a year so far. If it takes me 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, Joe Rogan and his podcast, he said it took him 5 years to get monetized. Now that does seem like a long time, and I'm not saying I'm any smarter than he is, but I don't know. I'm hoping that there's ways I can learn to speed the process up. But I'm hoping within 2 years I should be able to make some money to be able to live in my van and maybe travel around non-Shenzhen countries. So that's kind of the ingredients I put together. That's kind of my understanding that covers those issues that made me think that, am I broken? Am I crazy? Because a lot of my family and some of my friends really think that I'm odd, different, because I have this desire to try and build something that will allow me some more freedom. And they know I'm sacrificing living in a camper van, and having a compost toilet, which is kind of like just pooing in a bucket. I'm making these sacrifices to try and fix myself, because if I'm not broken, then I just want a different kind of lifestyle to work in 40, 50, 60 hours for the next 20 years. Maybe I'm different. Maybe some of this resonates with you. Maybe you feel connected in some way with some of this. Maybe you think I'm completely off the wall with my ideology and my ideas. Maybe you think I'm just a bit nuts. That's fine. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and what are you going to do to facilitate a lifestyle that you want, where you're not thinking, oh, I wish I'd stayed at the office a little bit longer, dying at the office on the floor with overweight and people around you thinking, oh, well, he should have retired years ago because he's not well. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you want to do to improve your life. All right, I'll see you in the comments below. See you in the next video. Love you guys. Bye for now. Thanks for sticking around. I don't know what to tell you, really. Not a huge amount has changed recently. I'm still pottering around the southwest of the UK. I've met a few more interesting people. I'm thoughts of doing different things, maybe traveling. Not a lot's changed. I haven't done as much dog sitting as I would normally do. I've done a little bit of part-time work here and there. I need to get money occasionally to help pay for my lifestyle. Things have been looking good though. I've been doing a lot of exercise, a lot of walking, been feeling really positive and really strong. That's good. I don't know what else to say, really. Just getting out and about. The weather's changing now. It's getting colder and wetter. The van is still doing all right. I'm still grateful for the van. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my friends, especially my sister. Yeah, that's it, really. Everything's going great. And then hopefully in a few more months, I'll look to go traveling. That's it. I don't know what else to say. I'm enjoying the countryside. This lake is beautiful. I've stayed here a few nights. Everything's going great. Just got to keep going along with it. Just got to keep working towards it. Eventually the dream will become into fruition. Things will start picking up and snowballing. But it's hard for me. I've got to be patient. That is my biggest problem. I don't know what, I don't want to label myself as ADHD or anything like that, but I've got 1,000 ideas and 1,000 things running through my head all the time. and learning to calm that and focus it, making myself productive and making myself accountable and scheduling myself to do stuff every day, more sort of management style. That's pretty tricky, but making progress at that. I'm really starting to enjoy my own company now, so hey, that's a big bonus for me. Yeah. So yeah, just being patient and keep going. That's it for me now, really. And I just want to thank you guys for sticking around and showing me your support. Again, if you want to show some more support, you can click the link below and buy me a coffee or something. But yeah, just keep on going. Just keep going. Well, like I said before, thank you very much. That's it for now. If you've got any questions, let me know. I'll see what I can do, answer as many as I can. And yeah, stay strong and believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. That's the key for me. All right, that's it really. See you in the next video, guys. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.